Welcome to the 4Cheque Pro application webinar. It is a new system of MED thought for companies that allows to optimize the management of every type of document that can be presented at the front desk. Before going on with the description of the features of 4Cheque Pro, I will quickly explain who we are and how MED works, and the process that led us to the creation of 4Cheque Pro. We are a software house dealing for over 25 years with the development of applications for the banking sector, with particular attention to the field of the decoding of algorithms, magnetic and optical, and barcodes, which revolutionized the market of check scanning with the software 4Cheque. MED has gained a position of leadership in the banking field, becoming the market leader with more than 130,000 tellers in Italy that use every day the MED softwares. Thanks to this experience, MED has decided to extend its know-how to companies, both in Italy and abroad, creating 4Cheque Pro. This software allows companies to automate and standardize the process of managing all front desk documents. 4Cheque Pro is an application dedicated to companies that introduces a virtuous process marked by the following steps: acquisition, decoding, archiving, and sharing. The acquisition can be carried out using all possible devices: A4 scanners, PDF files, multifunction printers, and smartphones, and allows to manage any type of document that is presented at the front desk, so not only checks from which MED inherited the know-how, but also identity documents, passports, and any other type of documents that can be presented at the front desk. What are the advantages of 4Cheque Pro? First of all, you can easily download the software from the web, and there is no need for a technical support. Once installed, the software is ready to use with the standard functionalities. It has a user-friendly interface with fully customizable fields and labels, even in a remote way, by MED. The use of 4Cheque Pro introduces in the company an automated process to manage all the documents of the front desk, granting a better customer experience for the end user, for example, speeding up the customer onboarding process, and a greater data reliability, reducing typing errors. Last but not least, the implementation of this process will allow an important saving in terms of time and costs, as the operator will no longer have to proceed with photocopies and manual data typing. Another very important element is the possibility to be compliant to GDPR and permit to have a controllable process that can also provide automatic deletion of the data. In some sectors, this is one of the most important aspects of this solution. This system also allows easy integration with the company management systems, placing itself among existing systems and adding the automation of the process described above. A particular feature of the system is that the document can be acquired with any type of device: A4 scanner, from files, folders, emails, cloud, from a multifunction printer, or from a smartphone. The use of different devices is the basis of the multi-channel that characterizes 4Cheque Pro, allowing to capture documents in a perfect way in any situation. In general, the documents that are managed by 4Cheque Pro are all those that are presented at the front desk, including identity documents, passports, contracts, or pre-printed forms with barcodes, but also checks from which MED begin and that are usually used also in extra bank sector like insurance, large-scale distribution, and B2B companies. In other words, 4Cheque Pro allows the optimal acquisition of CMC7 and E13B funds that are using Latin and foreign checks, or MRZ or machine readable zone, present in identity documents and passport, OCR-A and OCR-B, and all types of barcodes. In addition, NFC, near field communication, or radio frequency data reading is available. NFC technology is a proximity communication that provides two-way wireless connectivity. This is an automatic reading and is available for digital reading of identity cards and passports. The NFC technology, available for example on some models of Android smartphones and on dedicated readers, associated to the optical reading of the data present on documents, allows to verify the authenticity of the document, finding feedback of optical information in the digital ones, through the use of specific reading keys. This verification of authenticity can be particularly useful in many areas. As described in this diagram, the 4Cheque Pro system is composed of different modules: web-based application, client PC application, and mobile components, which allow extreme flexibility to be optimally configured according to the different needs of the front desk. The system designed in this way allows to operate through the multi-channel. In fact, it is possible to acquire and manage any document both from smartphone and from PC. For example, you can acquire a document from your smartphone while you are with the customer and find it immediately in your PC for all the uses you need. The mobile component was the first on which we invested and opened an interesting scenario. In fact, the performances have been even better of our expectation, and in some sectors, we believe it is the optimal solution, especially for the acquisition phase. 4Cheque Pro, therefore, allows to work also in mobility, a feature increasingly in demand in different sectors. Let's now have a look at some examples of 4Cheque Pro system usage. The system can be configured to operate both in Italian and foreign realities, finding application in several new sectors such as rental of holiday homes, hotels, car hire, and other rental activities, and any other sector that requires the customer onboarding, such as health clubs, gyms, or insurance. Here are two examples similar from the point of view of the application sector, which highlight the flexibility of the 4Cheque Pro system, which can be configured in different ways in order to adapt the process to the specific needs of the user and his customer. The application can be particularly useful in sectors that deal with the rental of holiday homes and small properties. In other words, the users that make available to guests some accommodation and that are required to manage all the practices for the customer onboarding, as larger and more complex structures have to provide. Thanks to the multi-channel approach, you can also use the software in mobility, simply using a smartphone. The advantages are many, both for the end user and for the property manager. It will no longer be necessary to go to the agency, and it will be possible to proceed with the customer onboarding directly at the accommodation, simply using the smartphone. This allows to speed up the census process, improving the customer's experience. One of the most important features of 4Cheque Pro is that the process becomes privacy compliant, as it will no longer be necessary to store images on your phone or make photocopies of the documents, methods that cannot be considered compliant, as they should, however, provide a standardized custody and cancellation process. With 4Cheque Pro instead, it will be sufficient to follow the instruction for the guided acquisition through the smartphone, having configured the system for the automatic cancellation of the information according to the chosen parameters. The use of this process allows greater efficiency and savings, as these small companies very often do not have at their disposal a management system, but in this way they can make a direct export to the police, no longer needing to make further investments for other management systems. Let's have a look in detail what the steps are. It starts with the acquisition and decoding of the document that is carried out in a few seconds through the use of the smartphone, to which it is possible to associate also the verification of authenticity through NFC if the smartphone device has also the specific hardware functionality. At a later stage, it will be possible to verify and integrate the data directly from your PC in the office or at home, such as the length of the customer stay. So it is possible to create the file and send to the police the information required by law. Moreover, it is possible to carry out other elaboration, as for example for the calculation of the tourist tax or communication to other authorities and offices. If you use a smartphone, documents can be acquired in a few seconds. Once the document type is selected, click the icon to capture the image, front and back, following the instruction provided by the app. The decoded data of the document will be displayed, and they can also be integrated or modified directly from your smartphone or later on a PC. The user has at his disposal the traffic light that allows to immediately understand if the acquisition process has been successfully completed. At a later stage, which may be on your return to the office or at the end of the day, you can verify the data from your PC and integrate them with additional info such as the arrival date or the days of stay. Clicking on Export, you can send the file to the police using the format requested by the authorities. This is an example of an export file with all the necessary fields to register the customer. Let's see another example that is similar but oriented to an hotel with completely different needs and logistics. The use of 4Cheque Pro in a hotel definitely allows a better customer experience, going on one side to streamline the identification process, making it faster from the delivery of the document to the identification of the customer, and the management of his data will take only few seconds. From the other side, the immediate return of the document and the standardized process of 4Cheque Pro allows to be privacy compliant with regard to the GDPR, having inside it both an access control and an automatic procedure for the deletion of data. There is no longer the need to have a paper copy, which is not privacy compliant for a lack of a decoded disposal process. 4Cheque Pro therefore allows extremely faster and more reliable process, granting important time and cost savings for small and medium-sized businesses. The use of the 4Cheque Pro application for an hotel should, in our opinion, involve the use of a desktop scanner for the acquisition of different identity documents, including passports. You can also use an NFC device to verify the authenticity of the document. It is a rather cheap device and, if present, it is automatically managed by 4Cheque Pro, guiding the operator step by step. As in the previous case, the video capture and verification process can be split in different moments, allowing to feel a better customer management at the desk. Once verified and added all the data required, you can proceed with the export of the file, automatic or manual, directly to the police or to the management system of the hotel for the more structured companies. Now, let's analyze in detail the screens for the acquisition of an identity card from a desktop scanner. After clicking the Capture button, a pop-up appears in order to select the type of document and the folder. Clicking the OK button, it activates the scanner and all the documents, data and images will appear on the screen. Then, it will be possible to watch the information on the screen in order to verify and integrate any data, such as the arrival date or the days of stay. This virtuous process allows, among other things, an objective and quantifiable saving from both an economical point of view and resources. Here an example of a hotel that performs an average of 30 check-in per day and assume that the use of 4Cheque Pro saves about 30 seconds per document, or at least the time needed to make a photocopy front and back from a multifunctional printer. This means that the annual savings is about 75 hours per person. Assuming an operator's cost of 20 euros per hour, the savings for the hotel is around 1,500 euros. So even a small hotel can achieve a very important saving for each acquisition workstation. To support the user, an online form is available from the application to submit all the support requests. This process permits the automatic acquisition of data that allows the M&D team to provide an efficient support. In the support page are also present many tutorials for the self-training of the users. Concerning the licensing process, once the application has been downloaded from the web and installed, the license can be activated directly from the application by clicking on the appropriate button. The software can be purchased directly online or through the sales channel, to which is provided an activation code that is sold by the retailer to the end user and that should be inserted in the purchase screen. The second way will have advantageous terms compared to the online channel, reserved for the direct purchase by the end users. The license of use is periodic, with a duration ranging from 6 months to meet the needs of seasonal facilities up to 5 years. I hope this webinar has been useful. If you want any further information, you can contact us using the form present in the application or by writing to 4checkpro@med.com. Thank you for your attention.